Salve to Discipuli, this is Mickey Strabuddy with the Stage 14 lesson on adjectives. This is mostly a review. We've been doing adjectives for a long time, but there's just some things that we're going to highlight. Before we do that though, let's look at nouns. So we know the first, second, and third declension for nouns. The first declension is mostly feminine. The 1% that's masculine has to do with professions such as agricola, and that's going to be very important to remember for this particular lesson. Second declension is masculine or neuter. Anything on the left side of the backslash is going to be masculine, such as us, er. Anything on the right side of the backslash is going to be neuter, such as Whenever there's no backslash, it just means that they're the same. For the third declension, we have masculine or feminine on the left, neuter on the right. Again, if there's no backslash, it just means that they're the same. All right, so here we have our 1-2 adjectives. This is not a half sign. This just means that it's a mashup of our first and second declension endings. They switch the gender order on you a little bit. We're used to seeing first and second, but now we're going to see masculine, feminine, neuter. So us, is your masculine, is your feminine, is the neuter. There's two of them down here where they are the same across all three genders. Third declension, we've got masculine or feminine on the left, neuter on the right. These are exactly the same as the noun endings except in one instance, and that's right here. The ablative singular in the third declension is an accented I, not an E like it was in the nouns. Otherwise, everything is the same as the nouns. If you have not done so already, take some time to brush up on these two charts because they're going to be very important for being able to match your adjectives to your nouns and translate them correctly. All right, adjective rules. Adjectives must match their antecedents in case number and gender. Declension does not matter. You could have a first declension adjective modifying a third declension noun. As long as they are the same in case number and gender, they can go together, though they will not look the same. Typically, adjectives indicating size or amount come before the noun, others come after. This is not a hard and fast rule, but it's just something to keep in mind. All right, go ahead and pause the video, copy down these two columns, and try to match them. As you can see, pulcher and puer go together. They look the same. Magnum and gladium also go together. They look the same. Laeta and puella, both nominative, feminine, singular, and they look the same because they're both from the first declension. Same with multo kibo, they're from the same declension. Optimi cani, parvos wheelos, and tua mensa. These were all easy because they look the same. They all came from the same declension in addition to being the same case number and gender. This one will be a little bit harder. Go ahead and pause the video, copy it down. Try to match the adjectives over here to the nouns over here according to case number and gender. All right, so meus puer, both nominative, masculine, singular, though they look different. Ferocum gladium, again, accusative, singular, masculine. They look different, but they are the same in case number, gender. Ignawa sententia, medio pede. Calidai matres, again, nominative, feminine, plural. Calidai is first declension, matres is third declension. That's why they look different, but they are the same case number and gender. Contentos patres, accusative, plural, masculine. Second declension, third declension. And then forti mensa. Both of these are ablative, singular, feminine, but mensa is first declension, forti is third. That's why they look different. All right, let's apply this to some actual sentences. Go ahead and copy down these 8 sentences. Draw underline adjectives and draw arrows to their antecedents. Put parentheses around prep phrases and label all of the remaining words. All right, first we have oncula perterita ad culinam contendit. Ad culinam is a prep phrase, so we're going to set that aside. Perterrita is an adjective. It's modifying oncula. Nice and easy because they're from the same declension. We've got a nominative subject and our verb. So the terrified slave girl hurried to the kitchen. Okay, with perterritam, same adjective, but now it's accusative because it's modifying an accusative. We've got a nominative subject, an accusative direct object, and a verb. So the cook greeted the terrified slave girl. Here we have a prep phrase. Laitai is modifying femini, still within the same declension, so thankfully they look the same, nice and easy. So we've got a nominative subject and a verb. The happy women were walking through the streets. All right, so laita femina, pervias, and ambulabat. Pervias is a prep phrase. Laita is modifying femina. We've got a nominative subject and our verb, so the happy woman was walking through the streets. All right, magnum. Magnum is modifying torum, also within the same declension, so they look the same, nice and easy. We've got a nominative subject, an accusative direct object, and our verb. So Bergans was leading the large bull. All right, parwam. Parwam's modifying canum. They're both accusative singular. We've got a nominative subject, a dative indirect object, an accusative direct object, and a verb. So the cook prepared a small dinner for the friends. All right, now it's going to get a little bit tougher. Mirabilem. This is accusative singular. It's em. There are no other ems in the sentence. However, because we know that this is accusative singular, we know that it goes with fabulam, which is also accusative singular. Now we have a nominative subject, an accusative direct object, and a verb. Quintus told a marvelous story. All right, in Wheela, we can separate that as our prep phrase. We've got stultus here. It's nominative masculine singular. Nothing else in this sentence ends in us, but senex is also masculine nominative singular. So we've got our verb and we've got a nominative subject. So the stupid old man used to live in the house. All right, discipuli, remember adjectives must match their antecedents in case, number, and gender, not declension. They may end up looking different if they come from different declensions, but what matters is case, number, gender. Wale to discipuli.